You say something now that really touched me. Knowing when to come in. And that's why I ask now, what are the fundamental steps of BLS? That's basic life support. And how can individuals quickly assess a situation to determine if BLS is needed? So happy to have you here because this is something I really want to teach the children to be aware of, how to, help when there is an emergency. And we are so glad you're here to help us do that.
It's my pleasure.
It's a part of the pillar of the healthy living with Nane Soludo. Our audience is so eager to learn. Can you explain what basic life support is and why it's crucial for everyone to know?
So basic life support, just like the name says, they are simple interventions and techniques that we all can learn as lay persons to assist people that become very sick or sometimes indeed critically ill in order to sustain life and indeed support life pending when trained health assistants are able to come in and intervene. And it consists of being able to ensure that the patient in this case receives oxygen by way of delivering rescue breaths, and then ensuring that there is circulation. That means even though the heart has stopped, you are able to mechanically and physically assist in pushing the heart and getting it to pump blood, and that blood containing whatever degree of oxygen content to be able to get to the brain and sustain the brain until you're able to recover the patient or until you have trained medical personnel to come in and continue the process from wherever you stop. Then we consist of having rescue breaths by way of either in your case it would be mouth-to-mouth breaths or mouth-to-nose, or indeed if you have what we call the ambu bag or the BVM bag valve mask device, which we all will see demonstrated here, you're able to give these rescue breaths with a device, and then at the same time doing what we call chest compressions, and that means manually compressing the chest at a specific anatomic location such that you actually perform that function that the heart, which has stopped, used to perform. So when you do that, you make sure that oxygen gets to the brain, and also we have a device called the AED, that is the automated electrical defibrillator. That means if this cardiac arrest, if this unresponsiveness is caused by any abnormality in the electrical activity of the heart, this device is able to detect that abnormality and tell you whether it is something that it can correct by delivering a specific electric shock or whether it is not. And when it detects it and it is what we call a shockable rhythm, it's able to deliver that shock once you press the button on that device. And what that does is to correct that electrical anomaly and convert it to the normal rhythm of the heart, and thereby helping in making sure the patient recovers from the problem. So basically, that is simply put what the BLS is all about. And these are skills that we as lay people, students, staff, parents, people in whatever situation they are in life can apply and be able to, in a lot of cases, recover these people that need help. You could have a collapse in the bank, in the school. We've had cases of children slumping in school during sports, or some kind of electric, maybe an electrocution, and nobody was able to help because nobody knew what to do. People would pour water, force malt and milk, and all these things that can actually cause more problem by, asphyxiating the person, when all you could have done was do chest compressions, deliver mouth to mouth or mouth to nose, and recover that person, or indeed buy time till the rescuers are able to come or you're able to get the person to a health facility.
Wonderful, wonderful. This is awesome. 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 Yes, thank you so much. This explains it all. I am on a mission to make sure, that a lot of people come to know about this because it's very important, super important. Do you think it's achievable?
Yes, I think it is. We've had places in other countries in Europe and America where these things are done. Yes. We've seen a very interesting case of a school bus driver having a cardiac arrest, and the pupils noticed it and started chest compressions and recovered the driver while somebody dialed the emergency number and help was on the way. But they were able to notice what had happened because they knew the signs of a cardiac arrest. So they saw the signs and interpreted it correctly and started an intervention. And that was what saved the man. Yes. So this is doable. We are all intelligent people. Our students do very well in their entrance exams. They can learn this skill and be able to interpret it when they see it and intervene and save a life. It is very doable. The problem is they don't have the information, so they are not doing it. And we have recognized that problem in our society, and we want to do something about it so we can achieve it.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. You said something now that really touched me, knowing when to come in. And that's why I asked now, what are the fundamental steps of BLS? That's basic life support. And how can individuals quickly assess a situation to determine if BLS is needed?
Okay, so the basic thing is early recognition. Being able to see that this problem has occurred and start immediately to do something about it. First off, you have to ensure that there is scene, we call it scene safety. You come in, maybe it's been a fire, maybe it's a drowning, maybe it's an electrocution. You have to make sure that you that is trying to intervene and the people around, and indeed the patient is within a safe environment. If there's a fire or something that has made the place unsafe, you have to extract the person, the victim from that scenario into an environment that is safe and conducive, and then you can start your intervention. So you ensure scene safety. Then first you have to confirm that this patient actually is in a state of arrest, because it could be somebody that is drunk. You could be walking on the street, you see a man lying down. It could just be that he got drunk overnight and passed out. You have to make sure that this is a case of a cardiac arrest, which means checking for responsiveness. Hello, sir, are you okay? Are you fine? And the person does not respond. And then you assess the breathing. He's not breathing, or he's what we call gasping. Ineffectual breathing efforts that don't get, first, they are not regular, the depth of the breathing is not normal, and it's not effective. And the aim of breathing is to get oxygen to the blood and then to the vital organs, and that is not what is happening. And then you will check, and there's no pulse. That means you will check something like we call it the brachial pulse. You place your hand at the specific location on the arm, and you cannot feel that pumping sign that you feel when you place it. Or you check the carotid, that is there's a vessel on the neck you place, and you can't feel anything. And you need to do that in less than 10 seconds. Because there is no time. You have just 3 minutes to get oxygen to the brain before the brain begins to deteriorate. So you need to check scene safety, assess for responsiveness, check for breathing. You don't find that, then you need to place positioning. Place the head in such a way that whatever rescue breaths you give will actually go in. Because sometimes the tongue is falling back, is obstructing. So you have to do a gentle chin lift. You place your hand on the head and do a head tilt just to position well. And then you will start your rescue breath and then your chest compression. But before then, you need to activate the emergency system. Thankfully, in Anambra State, we already have an emergency service with an emergency number. So if there's somebody around to assist you, hey, could you get me an AED and activate the emergency response? That means get abroad, there are specific locations you find these AEDs, these machines, with these defibrillators. The person will go over there, unlock it and bring it, and then call the emergency number 112. And help is on the way. And the person comes, and by then the person has gone. You commence your chest compression while you give your rescue breath. And then early defibrillation. That means as soon as that AED comes, we want to check the rhythm. Because if the problem is that the heart is not beating properly and it can be corrected with that machine, you need to do it early. Otherwise, you're wasting time. So early defibrillation. And when you've done that, you are continuing at it until help comes. And indeed, in some cases, you are able to recover that patient. And then we come to the post-resuscitation period, where you can lay the person in what we call a recovery position while help comes. And indeed, when trained, skilled help comes, they take over the process from you. And that is where a more technically demanding part, that is the advanced life support, comes in, which is beyond the scope of what we are doing. But what we want to do is train the common everybody on the street, train the ordinary people to be able to intervene when there has been a cardiac arrest. So
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow. This is very, very important, and I think it's something we will do. Everybody needs to be part of this.
Yes,
everybody. We need to work with the community leaders, the Red Cross people. We need to work with them, because it's not just everyone. Wherever you see yourself and there's this emergency, so that everybody will help to resuscitate, because sometimes people die for not just having this thing. So it's something really will work. So Dr. Ifat will be calling you from time to time, please, to teach and to teach our people, the community, the youth, mothers, how to help. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for sharing your expertise and emphasizing on the importance of basic life support.
My pleasure.
Together, we can equip ourselves with knowledge to save lives. To save lives, very important. Now, let's proceed to the practical demonstration of basic life support. I can't wait to start.
Yes.
Thank you.